Hello and welcome back to your 9-day prayer portal to close out 2024 with consciousness and care. And prepare yourself through prayer, permission, and practices that are going to help you to become more deeply insourced with your own sovereignty and satiation and sacred service, your sacred soul gifts that are here to support you in 2025. Day number 3. 3 in numerology is a sacred mystical number. It represents the Trinity, the trio, the out of the I and the out of the you. The we is born. The we. So think mother, father, child. It is necessary to have a mother, a father, and a child for every child to be born. Regardless of how it happened, there still needs a father, a mother, and a child. You could think of the yin, the yang, and that brings it together to then form and create something new. So anything that represents the number 3, like the birth, the death, the rebirth, the body, the mind, and the spirit, the triangle, it's that number where out of two entities, a third is created. It is expressed in its full creative aspects. It's expressed as a bursting out of out of that womb, that second chakra that we talked about on the second day, the container, the sacred container of the womb that is to come will be birthed or rebirthed. In the chakra system, the third chakra, like I said, in the sense of the womb, it's not birthed down in the sense of the chakra system. In the chakra system, the 2 is around the womb center. Now the 3 moves up towards the navel center, and it's like a sun. It's yellow color, so it's like literally like the sun's warmth that is circling in unison, uh, creating this wheel of light that's wanting to be expressed from your own inner creative juices. And so it is that bringing upward of that you wish to create, and it is an expressing outward, like the sun expresses its rays outward to warm the earth, to warm humans. Um, in humans, the third chakra is that joy that just keeps the movement going. If you can think of 2 words for today, it's confidence and capable. I am confident and I am capable in my abilities. I am confident and I am capable in executing that I desire. I am confident that I am worthy enough, and worthiness, we're actually going to welcome worthiness in our first chakra. Remember how we talked about wholeness in day number 1? So the worthiness is actually, our worthiness is tied with our first chakra. We have to remember that we are that divine gift, that sacred one being that is interconnected with all, but we're also one. So people talk about self-worth, but that would be the first chakra. But the self-confidence is actually also, it's what moves that expression, that inward self-worth that we feel in our we can say it in our bones, but it's like the malva. The word in English is not coming, but it's like the blood that is coursing through our being is sacred. And that blood that is consecrated now wants to be served outward. It wants to shine its brightness outward. That is 3. It represents the joy that you are unique and that you are authentic, and that it is important that your self-expression and how you authentically express your being through movement and talk and actions and creation, that that is uniquely you. There is no other being on this planet like you. So may we remember the prayer. May we remember our own uniqueness, our sacredness, our authentic juices that inspire ourselves. So like when we were a child and we got off on ourselves just for being ourselves. It's that remembrance again of remembering that I matter as I am. I don't have to compare myself to others. I don't have to remember we talked about people pleasing in the second day. So as we reclaim our authenticity and we live in that full expression, that is when we can inspire others. That is when we can serve others authentically. That is when that heat, that fire inside of us can keep being expressed. And so taking a few deep breaths, taking the breath into the center of our being, right where the navel is. For those of you who are yogis and you know the fire breathing, or you can look it up, but basically the fire breathing is inhaling and exhaling quickly in and out through the nostrils. And it's like a pumping in and out with a tightness that you hold in through the inhale and the exhale breath. And it's not only awakening, but it's reminding the wheel to stay, to the wheel to be in continuous motion. That it doesn't have to stop because it can stop. And if it stops, that is our last breath. And so that is desire to keep going one more day. I am capable. And sometimes, and in today, I just invite us also, it can feel like a lot. 3. So sometimes we need to break it down into moment by moment, which we always should. But this energy of 3, it's so full, like the sunlight, you can't look at it directly in the sunlight, in the center of the sun with your eyes. But you can take in moment by moment what it feels like to be warmed by the sun rays on a warm summer day, or being hit in the face by a beam of sunlight right as you walk outside, and just feeling that exhale, that your body can relax a little bit more so. So taking a couple of deep breaths, maybe just rubbing or placing your right hand on your belly, on your above your womb space. And especially for women and for mothers, just that remembrance to soften our bellies, not have to pull it in, not have to keep it in. And notice that the keeping in is not only of our sacral, our second chakra energy. We're like pulling it in. We constrict it, but we also become tight in our own breathing, in our own allowing of that moving energy to flow through our body. Imagining that those rays are warming our legs that are going to be standing and doing all of the to-dos that we have to do today. And that warm sunlit rays are also going to be giving fire, energy, passion, and aliveness in and through our upper body so we can act in integrity. We can show up. We can do the things that we said that we're going to do. We can take the action steps. We can speak authentically. So allowing our hands in our belly and just softening our whole expression just for just for a couple of seconds as we recognize that in our past, we might have heard or we might have seen for what obviously for some of us feels like a lifetime, the holding in of our authenticity, of our self-assuredness, of our confidence. And so as you breathe in and out through your belly, take a couple of moments to recognize yourself and that fire that is lit. Beautiful hawk literally just is walking outside of my window. Hawks in spirit animal medicine represent being able to see the greater mandala. So they're able to take that prey and from far away grab what is needed in order to fuel themselves. So let that sacred energy of the hawk allow you to hear and to feel these words. As you soften your belly and you breathe, you remind yourself, I do matter. I do show up for myself. I do things with joy, and I do them in my confidence. I do inspire myself first and foremost, and I do inspire others. And thanks to this beautiful hawk medicine that wanted to be with us today. Literally see past expressions that you have withheld as a child or as an adult in different scenarios. For example, holding in a comment or not dressing how you really wanted to, or not doing that project because too many things around you were happening and you didn't have the strength to say, these are my boundaries, this is what I need. So notice all of those expressions. It's almost like a gremlin or like a being that has transformed into this entity that only shows part of you, the part that you want the other person or the community or the system to see. And you are going to allow and invite all of those little gremlins or all of those little dressed up dolls or little monsters, whatever you want to call them. And you're going to thank them. I do thank you, because the third chakra is also the judgment, the judging ourselves and the judging others. So let's not continue to judge ourselves. I do love all of those parts within me that showed up as they fully could show up in those moments. And I do know that now those are no longer needed. So thank them and let them walk or run or jump or scream or squeal, and let them go outside, either to a big open field or whatever nature environment you know a hawk could find them and would want to devour them and receive from their energy in gratitude. So make that offering. Thank you, God, for the reminder that we are never alone. There's a very simple, sacred prayer that we can internally say or externally say, and it's, I need a miracle. So, in any area of your life, when you're needing support with something within yourself that you cannot, say, figure out, or you cannot mentally understand, or you cannot even spiritually get to the wisdom, the very sacred prayer is, God, show me a miracle. God, I need a miracle. God, I trust that a miracle is to come. Obviously, always remembering that we are that miracle, and in that moment, we will actually see that miracle externally reflected. So, if there's any area in your life right now where you need support in order to express yourself more fully, be it within your own family unit, relationship, or as a mother or as a daughter, or in your partnership, or in a friendship, or in a professional setting, where does your authentic expression want to come more alive? Where does it want to feel more inspired within yourself? And remind yourself of that simple but deep prayer practice of just asking for a miracle. We remind ourselves of the permission in our heart center. So remembering that we are not alone, that we will receive the support that we need. We grant ourselves the permission to remember. I do matter. My wishes and my desires are sacred and important, and they are authentically mine. And I do want to live them out with joy and in fullness. And I do want to be an inspiration for myself. I want that creativity to be expressed fully, and I want it to inspire others. So, our practice for today is simple, but sometimes not so simple. Take a moment to notice in what area of your life you can, for today, be more authentically you. In astrology, that would be the Aquarius energy. So if you have an Aquarius rising or an Aquarius north node, or some of you might only know that you're an Aquarius sun sign. But for those of you who have like a north node, not like, for those of you who have a north node in Aquarius, actually my husband and my daughter have that. So what that means is that their soul gifts in this lifetime are linked with being the collective daydreamer inspiration guide to bring more creativity online. And for some, they think it's, the technology world, but it's not only the technology world, um, it's the creative, it's the creative juices that inspire the collective. And so for today's practice, in what area of your life are you holding back that authentic, creative expression that wants to be expressed more to the collective? And just think, maybe the collective can be your child, or your part in partnership, or it can be in your work, it can be in one area. Or notice if you feel like just doing it all day, or for parts of the day, or in one area of your life. So either visualizing what that would look like, or writing it down, or speaking it out loud. What would feel really good for you today to express, first and foremost, for yourself, and to express outwardly as a gift to inspire others around you. Have a beautiful, bountiful, joy-filled day.